Hello there to our WEC parents and guardians. This video is about your child's CAT4 report and understanding their potential. My name is Matthew Morris and I'm the Secondary Vice Principal, and assessment is one of my main areas of responsibility, of which CAT4 is quite a big part of. But why do we assess at WEC? We assess because we want to know your child. We want to know where they're currently at so that we can help them on their journey to where they need to be. But more specifically, what is CAT4? CAT4 is a cognitive ability test. It's similar to an IQ test, and it assesses students in four main areas or batteries, and they are the verbal reasoning, so the child's ability to think with words in English, the quantitative with numbers, the non-verbal with shapes, and the spatial with shapes and space. And in the secondary school, the CAT4 gives an indicator of what the child is likely to achieve in their GCSEs, and we use this for target setting. Now, the typical CAT4 report from the school will look like this. Now, this is dummy data, this is made up data, this is not a real child. You'll see that the average score is at 100, and the highest the child can achieve is 141, and the lowest 59. And this is a standard age score, which is essentially a standardized sample of the child's raw score adjusted for their age. The SAS score is given for verbal, quantitative, non-verbal, spatial, and then there's an average of all of those combined. And what you'll see on this profile is that the child scores quite confidently in the quantitative, non-verbal, and spatial, but lower in the verbal, which indicates that they might be struggling a little bit with their English, and that with differentiation and support, they should be able to achieve and attain their potential. What's equally important is under the report, where it indicates whether your child has a bias towards a particular style of learning. And with this, a statement below on how best you, the child, and the teacher can ensure that they're attaining best based on their preferred learning styles. But it's really important we trust you with this information. The actual CAT4 report released by the company does not include SAS scores, but we're giving this for you. But it's important that you use this information in the correct way. CAT4 is not an attainment test. Your cognitive ability cannot improve by revising or working harder at tests. It's not a reflection of the quality of the teaching in school. Now, I've created a separate video on how you and your students can improve their overall cognitive function. But what's more important in this video is what are we doing to help at WEC? And firstly, it comes with identification. We've got four quadrants here. Quadrant A are our students with high verbal and low non-verbal. These are our students that I use the word masks. I use masks because these are students that often put their hand up, write really well, speak really well. But in reality, they might not be attaining as well, because when it comes to the test, the content or the context of what they're writing is not always up to where the teacher thinks they might be. And that's because they've got a high verbal. So they're putting their hands up a lot and they're engaging a lot. Our quadrant B are our high verbal and high non-verbal. These are typically our gifted and talented students. I use the word fuel because they've already got that fuel. It's the teacher's job to ignite it and burn that passion for learning. Quadrant C are our low verbal and low non-verbal. Our typical students with special educational needs and need that differentiation support in class. And quadrant D are our low verbal and high non-verbal students. These are students that might have English language needs and without that support may struggle to access the curriculum unless they get English additional support. On the left hand side, you'll see a range of intervention strategies that we use. I won't go into too much detail, but ultimately our WEC Essentials are a really fantastic way of ensuring we develop our cognitive function in students, but also that they can still achieve their potential. You'll see this case study of a child who joined us in Year 10 in 2016. The CAT scores on the left and then a PASS questionnaire on the right. What you'll notice is that the child has a verbal deficit, and their perceived learning capability, their self-regard and work ethic was quite low in November of 2016. And with this information, we identified that because of the child's lack of English, or the child was struggling English and they were having difficulties accessing the curriculum, their confidence in learning decreased. And once we were able to provide that support and intervention, I'm very pleased to say that their GCSE results were fantastic. This demonstrates what we do here at WEC and also the power of CAT4. I hope this has been informative. Please, my email address is at the bottom. If you do have any questions around CAT4, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much.